What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bri. You don't know if I'm winking or I'm blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Walking Dead. And in this video, we're going to cover some potential spoilers for the back half of Season 9 and should cover a lot of different episodes. So if you're worried about spoilers, obviously stop watching now as it says spoiler warning in the thumbnail. But some people come here and they're like, why are you telling about spoilers? So just making sure, spoiler warning, potential spoiler warning. Guess it's not 100% confirmed, but I got to put it out there as it's highly likely to occur for our Walking Dead family. And if you haven't already, guys, please show some love by hitting that subscribe button to the PT channel and become a valued member of our Walking Dead family. Photo credit and info credit to these fine folks right here, especially the Spoiling Dead fans. And here's some great information for some potential spoilers for the back half of Season 9. Lydia is captured in Episode 9 and brought to Hilltop. At some point, Alpha gets a hold of a couple hostages. Judging by the 9B preview, it will probably be Alden and Luke. Alpha brings several Whisperers with her to the Hilltop and demands Lydia back in exchange for her hostages. This should be around Episode 11. Daryl eventually takes Lydia out to them and gives her back. Lots of walkers start approaching Hilltop. They are drawn by the sounds of a crying baby that supposedly belongs to one of the Whisperers. Alpha demands the Whisperer to leave the baby since it's attracting walkers. The Whisperer obeys and puts the baby on the ground, and they leave. Connie runs out and rescues the baby. So wow, some interesting information right there, right off the bat. The fact that Alpha is demanding the mom or the person who has a baby to leave it, and the person does it, is pretty crazy to think that Alpha has control of these people for sure. What Alpha says goes. And I'm kind of not sure why someone would bring a baby like that, but you know, Alpha is going to probably capture these two. It probably just looks that way from the preview, the trailer breakdown. We talk about it. Alden and Luke are probably going to get captured. Will they both survive? I don't see them here. This looks like when Alpha is talking with Daryl to get Lydia back outside of Hilltop. And I don't see Alden or Luke. It's hard to make out. But clearly, Lydia is going to have some story with Daryl. Probably Henry. We'll talk about that in a second. But what is it going to be? How are the comics going to come to the show? How are they going to be changed? How are they going to be remixed? Is the big question. Daryl is going to be clearly involved with Lydia, Alpha, Beta, and I can't wait to find out. Connie is going to go rescue the baby, so we'll see another baby on the show. So babies are still being born as people survive in the zombie apocalypse. It's not clear if the hostages, Alden and Luke, were successfully exchanged or if something happens to them and they die. After Lydia leaves, Henry will follow after her. He ends up at the Whisperer camp, where he is held captive and tied to a tree, possibly Episode 12. Daryl will go after Henry. He takes a dead Whisperer's walker suit and wears it to infiltrate the Whisperer camp. He doesn't successfully rescue him because Henry is still stuck there until Episode 15 or so. Back at the Whisperer camp, one of the Whisperers is getting punished in the form of a beheading. Apparently, some of the other Whisperers have Greek alphabet names too. The one that gets beheaded is a female that might be going by the name Zeta or Delta. Where's my Gamma at? If you know the channel, if you know a subscriber named Gamma, where you at, Gamma? And I'm excited to see what happens with the Whisperers in the back half of Season 9 and beyond. But Henry is going to go after Lydia, and Daryl is going to go after Henry. Is Daryl eventually going to save Henry? Save Lydia? Is Lydia going to come back to the Hilltop? What's going to be the major comic differences of this story arc? I can't wait to find out, but clearly it's much different since we already see Henry in the Carl storyline. The fact that Daryl is using a Whisperer mask to blend in takes me back to the comics when Dwight does a similar thing. Are we going to see that again in the war? Are we not? Or is this it? But I think we'll see it again in some form or fashion with Daryl, possibly Dwight down the road. There's no word of Dwight coming back around this season or beyond, but I hope he does. Now, the Zeta Delta Whisperer lady does something to piss off Alpha. It's not clear what exactly she does. She might be scheming against Alpha, which doesn't work out very well. Alpha strangles and decapitates her with a wire. Her severed head is presented to the other Whisperers as a demonstration of what happens when you go against Alpha. Zeta Delta apparently has a boyfriend, significant other. Beta supposedly restrains him during the beheading. Alpha might actually place the head in his hands at some point. She also reportedly stabs unlucky boyfriend Whisperer to death. Michonne, Carol, and Daryl end up at the Whisperer camp at some point in Episode 15. They are tied up and eventually talk with Alpha. Alpha secretly infiltrates the fair in Episode 15. Supposedly she wears a dress. Assuming the events follow the comic, this is where she will find and lure away her victims for the pike. Henry is still stuck at the Whisperer camp, but it looks like he makes an escape in Episode 15. He He heads back to the kingdom, but encounters Alpha on his way. Unfortunately, right now, it looks like Henry will be killed and probably ends up on a pike. So some of that information was told before, just sharing it with you guys. If you know it, great. If you don't, even better. So it looks like the big three is going to be in trouble. Carol, Daryl, and Michonne are basically taken prisoner and trapped at the Whisperer camp. We saw a similar situation before with the Saviors when Michonne, Daryl, Glenn, and Rosita, I believe, were taken prisoner back at the end of season 6. And I hope it's not a similar thing here. This was kind of the start of some bad storytelling in season 7, but they were captured, and it could be a similar situation like we saw here with the group and the Saviors. Now, I'm not sure when we'll see Beta for the first time, and I'm really not sure when Beta is going to fight Daryl. Why, when, how, where, what is going on here? Besides Daryl fighting Beta, which should be awesome. It already looks awesome here, even though I would rather see Jesus fighting Beta. Well, we won't have that, and that's okay. I think the fight scene should be pretty awesome. My early hypothesis theory is that Daryl is going to be in trouble. Beta should really kick his butt. Then Negan's going to step in and save the day. But I'm not sure how this connects with Beta and Daryl, and how Daryl gets captured or taken back to the camp, and the Henry situation, and Michonne and Carol. I'm excited to find out. But how does Negan connect with all this? The easy situation and the storytelling is that Negan comes in and saves Daryl from getting killed by Beta. Beta and the Whisperers escape and they get away. Daryl is forced to trust Negan because Negan saved his life. Negan's going to have to do something here, right? I mean, if we have Daryl, Carol, and Michonne trapped and really in a sticky situation, Negan's going to be one to save the day, right? Why not? I think Negan can redeem himself if he saves the big three characters, especially Daryl, Carol, and Michonne. And if you know the comics, or you saw the video with this thumbnail that I made a while ago, you'll find my early predictions for the Pikes. And we have some information regarding that coming up. Not who's picked, because we just don't know 100%. And I kind of don't want to know right now, but we'll find out probably before the episode airs. Alpha will return to the Whisperer camp in episode 15 after she has finished her murdering business, and she'll show off her bloody machete, similar scene from the comics. Pike's reveal should be in episode 16, the season finale. Rumor has it that the season doesn't seem to end with the Pike's reveal. It looks like there will be events that occur after, such as the kingdom moving to the hilltop due to a blizzard. So winter is coming, finally, to The Walking Dead. Winter is coming on Game of Thrones, but it's also coming to The Walking Dead. This is Alpha right here. Alpha is going to be seen in a lot of episodes of the back half of season 9. Hopefully she makes it to season 10, which makes sense. If you know the comics, you know some big stuff happens after the Pikes, the Whisperer War, Alpha, Beta, Lydia. Some big things should be happening. I can't wait to find out what goes down, how it goes down, how the twists and turns happen. But if you're a comic fan, are you excited? If you're not a comic fan, we have a bunch of videos talking about Alpha, Beta, the Whisperers, and what to expect. Obviously, spoiler warning, if it happens just like the comics to the show, but the show likes to do twists and turns, especially with some of the information I provided here. And if you know the comics, you know the storyline with Carl and Lydia should be replaced with Henry, but there's the Daryl situation, the Carol situation, Kingdom, the Pikes. What's going to happen? Well, the rumor is, there's another rumor going around that King Ezekiel may live, that he may not be part of the Pikes. But again, it's just a rumor. So when we had the Negan lineup, we had Abraham and Glenn. In the comics, it was just Glenn. So they still lived up to the comic storyline by killing Glenn off. They just added Abraham. I think we could have a similar situation here with the Pikes. But the fact that the Kingdomers are going to the hilltop shows me that they're probably done filming at the kingdom, at least for a while. But it doesn't make sense for the storyline, because why would you go to the hilltop? It's all outside. We're going to see snow. Obviously, we see it right there, and I believe this was filming for episode 15 and or 16, and you can see the snow on the ground. They brought it in for filming. We're going to see snow on the Walking Dead TV show finally. You can see the snow on the wood there, and then we'll see it in the trees in a second. But I'm excited for the snow to come around. I'm not sure how much they're going to do with that aspect because it was the end of the season when they had the white on the trees for the snow, but they did hint several times at the kingdom was having problems with the pipes and stuff was falling apart there. So that might be why they're leaving the kingdom to go to the hilltop, but I can't wait to find out. This is some pretty great information. Again, potential spoilers for the back half of season 9. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. I'm excited for the back half of season 9. We're getting closer, guys. It's January 1st as I make this video. Some of the information is new. Some of the information is old. If you follow the channel, you probably already know some of this. So hopefully you'll let me know your thoughts. I'm excited for the back half of season 9. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Show us some love by hitting that subscribe button. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, and as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.